Hey guys, Bill Krackomberger, Jon Orlando. We are on location this week over here in California, beautiful sunny California. We have a special guest this week, Matt Bowyer, who I've known for many, many years. Been around the world with him, actually been to some places. And not that I traveled with him, but I just seen him there and played a tournament versus him. I actually got to the finals with him in a big tournament. We're going to talk about that. Jon Orlando here at my side. And Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No, we appreciate it.
I haven't been this excited to do a podcast in probably 4 years. Not since Dana. This is my most exciting episode I've been a part of since Dana White.
Wow. Okay.
100%.
Nice.
Looking
No,
forward
this
to
is,
this.
but only because we talked about it coming here too, how gambling is so widespread now. It's everywhere, every country. It's big overseas too. Australia's got terrible gambling problems. Now the United States, 7 years ago, Pabst was repealed. Gambling is basically everywhere in the United States now. And we felt so bad that this guy's actually going to prison involving gambling, even though he gave up so much. So, Matt.
The world's going to be a better place with you being locked up somehow.
Bars.
This is so crazy. What are we doing? This is so nuts.
You know, Matt, as a kid growing up on the East Coast, I was literally enamored in gambling. My family, my mother's Italian uncles and aunts. They always, on the weekends, the men played pinochle or poker. The girls played continental gin or something like that. But it was always for money.
Sure.
So as 7, 8, 9 years old, we went to Monmouth Park Racetrack, Belmont, Meadowlands, not even thinking much of it. And it was like instilled in me where I grew up. And our parents didn't know. They didn't know that they were like, taking us around and stuff. And we become little degens, which I did. I grew up in a boardwalk town that was a gambling town.
Okay.
Out here, I always think so different. I think you guys are all like surfers, having fun. There's no gambling. How did you get into gambling?
Well,
you grew up here?
Yeah, I grew up right here in Orange County. And I grew up in Cypress. And in Cypress, there's a Los Alamitos racetrack. As you know, it's only 8 minutes away.
Yep.
So I grew up where my grandparents would take me to the racetrack, and same thing. It was very casual. Just go there with them, and we bet $2 on a trifecta or whatever it was, something small. And then we would gamble in Yahtzee even, board games at the house. So gambling was always around me as well. Even though we do surf out here, Bill. Yes, that is correct.
No, I know. I'm just being funny, really.
I know.
But we had like after-hour joints, too. When everything closed, you want to get even, you have after-hour joints, places that are literally crap games and stuff. If you're in North Jersey or New York, of course, Atlantic City had all the action down in Atlantic City.
Sure.
But I was going to Atlantic City when I was 16. I mean, I was a little DGen gambler, too. Did you, as a kid, was there games here, any poker games or any kind of other gambling, or was it sports betting back when you were a kid, or not really?
Well,
bookmakers.
If you read my book, Recalibrate, you'll see that I tell a story that I was running a poker ring in my house.
Oh, okay.
When I was 16.
Right.
And then that got shut down because one of the moms was doing some laundry and found a little cheat sheet of an IOU for like $300 and something.
Wow.
Which, when you're 16, feels like $8 million.
Right.
Sure.
So all the kids, my parents, to back up a little bit, when I was 12, the first 12 years of my life, I had 3 brothers. We had kind of the Leave It to Beaver family. Everything looked perfect. And we grew up in Cyprus, which was middle class. But we're the kids that never struggled or suffered to get things, right? So I feel like we were kind of babied in a sense. Just spoiled a little bit, to be honest. And then once my dad, who was a Vietnam vet, developed a really bad alcohol addiction, he started drinking 40 beers a day and 3 packs of cigarettes. After about 4 rehabs, my mom just had enough. So he left the house, and then I was 12, and that was the moment where reality came in. I started hustling. So from 12 years old, I didn't want to ask my mom for money. She's working 3 jobs, trying to keep us in the house.
Sure.
My 2 older brothers one was graduating high school, the other one was in high school. They were just kind of doing their own thing, chasing girls and, living their own life. So it was me and my little brother, and really didn't have much supervision. So, that's not really good for a young boy. So I started hustling. I started the Orange County Register, Paperboy, baseball card collection, poker ring. Then I started selling weed, little marijuana out of my house. Yep. So everything was like just trying to make money. And then I started making almost as much money as my mom at 16, because I started also taking sports bets, making bets, any form of gambling. That became my passion, because I knew how to hustle and kind of find an edge, if you will, which you're really good at. And that edge was imperative to me because I didn't want to ask my mom for money. I saw her struggling so bad.
Sure.
So anyway, at 16 years old, I was running the poker ring that got shut down. And then when I was 18 years old, I finally got kicked out of my house for selling weed. And I went and got an apartment with my ex-wife, who we ended up having a baby. So fast forwarding, at 18 years old, I got an apartment. I was working 2 jobs. I worked at the Massimo Clothing Company and the John Wayne Airport. So, you know, ends meet jobs, right? 6 to 2, 2:30 to 10. And then on the weekends, I'd go racetrack, bet sports, lose money to a bookmaker, anything to hustle and try to figure it out, which wasn't working because I was at DGen. Long story short, after about 8 months of that, I decided that's not working, and she got pregnant. So we had to move back to my mom's house. Well, my mom lost her house. So now she lived in a trailer park in Dana Point, which is really hard pill to swallow. So I was like, wow, I'm 18, about to have a baby, can't even figure out my own life, and I'm moving into a trailer park. Mind you, the trailer park was a double-wide mobile home with 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
My mom, my little brother, me and my ex-wife on a couch. So I was like, I better wake up and become a man. So I went and got a job as a busboy. I'm fast-forwarding all this. Basically figured out the reason I got a job as a busboy, they wouldn't hire me as a waiter because I had no experience. And I figured out if I started this brand new restaurant in a very nice area, Dana Point, California, I'll meet somebody, use my charisma, use my personality to get in a job that's a real job, right? And it worked. About 5 months later, got an opportunity, go down to this commodity brokerage house, all these young guys making tons of money, Ferraris parked out, it was basically Wall Street.
Boiler room.
Very much, but legal.
Yep.
And so I worked my way up, got my Series 3 license. When I was 21 years old, I was the top retail broker in the world. And then I purchased the house that my parents lost.
Wow.
The very same home went for sale for $550,000. I moved into my parents' house. Me and my ex-wife were sleeping in my parents' bedroom. It was eerie. It was crazy. My daughter was 2 years old. I was making $700,000 a year at 21. I had a Mercedes, and I was on top of the world. In that process, I've always been a gambling degenerate, so I was always gambling and always fucking off a lot of my money. And I decided at this point, instead of giving all my money to bookmakers, which I kept doing anyway, I'll just be one, because I was always taking bets, but it was never really a business. And I had this perfect opportunity because I have this brokerage firm with these young guys who are really just hookers, drugs, gambling, any vices you could put together, which is just like the movie.
Sure.
Wolf of Wall Street, really.
Yep.
Was my atmosphere. And I wasn't into hookers because I was married. I really don't drink too much, and I don't do drugs. Never done drugs in my life, but I love to gamble. So here it is. Let me just take advantage of this. So I started building a client base. And next thing you know, I had about maybe 50, 60 players. And I was making really good money because these guys are betting quite a bit. And I wasn't really afraid, as you guys know. You've heard the stories. I would pretty much take any bet, right? Now I had a bankroll behind me. So fast forward about maybe 2 years later, the internet comes around. And when the internet comes around, I said, this is a scalable business. So I was one of the first bookmakers to go to Costa Rica, use the per head shop, take advantage of that. And then I scaled my business to a dramatic fashion to where I had, eventually 1,200 clients when I got in trouble.
Wow.
But
That's like in the late 90s?
Yeah, no, it's
Early
later
2000s?
than that. Because in 93, I graduated high school. I was 18. So I would say right around the year 2000. I mean,
What kind of money were you doing at that point?
back then, I would say probably the average bet was I would say 500 to 2,000.
Okay.
And then I had some guys betting up to 5 or 10,000, which, mind you, this is 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was a bigger number then.
Right.
And of course, it escalated dramatically when I was probably about 30 years old. That's when I really started bookmaking big. And then, of course, at the tail end of my career, $1 million bets. And
Now, did you have anyone backing?
No, I never had any backer.
Really?
Never.
That had to be stressful.
It could be, yeah, especially when you have a gambling
one
problem.
client, if you have one, yeah.
Add a gambling
You're
problem.
like
on top
you
of
were
that.
the equivalent of like a drug dealer. The rules
Getting
like
high
don't
on their
get
own
high off your own
supply. That was
supply.
me.
That was you.
I actually got higher because I was gambling higher than I was taking, which is really a problem. Bill knows this better than anyone. If you don't have the bankroll management, and then I would go to Vegas, I'd blow $2 million. I'd come home, I lost $1.5 million in my bookmaking operation. $3.5 million gone, and then maybe I went to Vegas with the 2. I blew that. Came home and I only had, let's say, 800,000 here. Now I got to go borrow 700 grand. I've been there many times. I've
That's
been
unbelievable.
in many positions where
That's unbelievable. You
so
were
many
booking
times.
and you were borrowing.
100%. I borrowed money so many times in my lifetime over the last 30 years. No one would ever know because, of
But
course,
everyone thinks bookmakers just win. You guys all win.
No, not
there's
even close.
losing weeks when especially if you have 1 or 2 clients that control your book that are
big
betting
time.
big.
Yes.
The 5,000 and 10,000 guys. If you have a guy betting 100,000, 200, they're the guys that are going to control your week.
they
win or
matter
lose.
more than all your players, right? At the end of the day, if
Yeah.
you're a bookmaker that, like me, doesn't really care what the limits are,
Right.
and I'm willing to gamble. So
Right.
most bookmakers are smart enough to know, like, let's bankroll manage this thing. Let's not let one or two guys control your operation. That makes sense. But for me, I was a gambler. I was like, you know what? I'll beat this guy in the long run. I'll take it. As long as I know the money was good. I knew he wasn't sharp. I didn't want your action, Bill.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
No,
but at the end of the day,
it's funny you say that because I was down and I ran into you multiple times
Of course.
out of the country in Costa Rica, not Costa Rica. We were in
Dominican
Republic, one of them. I mean, there's Bahamas.
Right.
But when I seen you in there, you were in the sportsbook betting, and I said, "Wow, this guy's sharp. You know what he's doing?" To myself, I got no one to talk to there. I said, "This guy's taking sharp bets and laying it off, making money." I didn't know your operator. I never asked you for an account.
I tried that too. That didn't really work.
Yeah, I never asked you for an account because I knew I wasn't going to get one.
Well,
I knew you knew who I was, so I never really was.
To be honest, I was fair warned that you're smarter than the average bear anyway.
Yeah.
So if I would have gave you an account, it would have been through somebody else.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I think we discussed it one time. We never ended up doing it.
We may have never did it.
Yeah. I was
but-
going to get you a couple accounts with a couple guys I didn't really love in the
okay.
business.
Yep.
What was the most amount of money you ever had to borrow?
$2 million for sure. I definitely borrowed $2 million from a friend of mine.
You have a friend that'll give you $2 million cash?
I do. He would give me $2 million today.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to talk
don't get me wrong. I compensated him drastically for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he definitely
understands the whole business, though.
And not only that, he understands me.
Right.
At the end of the day, like, if I borrowed $2 million and I'm in the shoes I'm in today, he would still lend it to me because he knows I will get him the money eventually, even no matter what happens, unless I get hit by a bus.
Sure.
It's the only way he would not get paid.
Sure.
Because I'm not claiming I'm an angel. I'm not the most honorable person in the world. Like, I've definitely had my share of problems with people in the past, whatever. But I would never fuck over my friend, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, I would actually ruin my own life to pay him back.
Sure.
Because he did me that solid of giving me $2 million, showing me that good fate, you know? And I had so many of those relationships, thank God, that I could come home and know that I had it covered. So it allowed me to, as you know, which is very important as a gambler, to walk into a casino, even if it was my, to be honest, last $2 million, I would gamble like I had $100 million at home. Because you can't go into a casino and be like scared or play fearful. I mean, one thing about me, I have zero fear. To the
I was
point where it's
with
a
you.
problem.
I was with you one time, sitting down at the table just to watch you, and you guys were betting $200,000 a hand. This is the kind of money they're betting. You're talking about $400,000 swings.
Blackjack?
No, Baccarat.
Yeah.
And he's had swings. I didn't know this till yesterday. Tell John what you bet on the Super Bowl. How did you get down that kind of money?
I'll tell you. I have the tickets to prove it. I bet $1.25 million at the Atlantis Casino live in person.
Wow.
I have the tickets.
Wow.
I was in Atlantis, and then I bet all the rest of the bets through 40 bookmaking accounts.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to say their names
No,
out
of
of
course not.
respect, but
Yeah.
they're all well-known people.
Wow.
I had relationships with almost everybody
How
across
much
the
did you
country.
get down total?
4.6 on the game, but some of it they were a dog.
What game was it?
Chiefs against the Eagles.
Niners?
I hope you had the Chiefs.
Eagles. No, I had Chiefs against Eagles.
Oh, yeah, Chiefs.
I got lucky and won, of course.
Yeah.
But at halftime, I bet 4.2 million. And then at halftime, I don't know if you guys remember the game, Mahomes was like hobbling into the
Yes,
thing.
he hobbled into the locker room.
Everyone thought he was done.
Everyone thought he was done.
And guess who I
Absolutely.
thought I was betting on? Chad Henne, right?
Yep.
And so I bet $400,000 more on the second half. And people ask me all the time, knowing that, why would you bet $400,000 more? And I said, because I'm a degenerate gambler. And I was just hoping that Chad Henne would have the game of his life, knowing that I'm probably going to lose the 4.2 and hoping to, make a comeback because they were already down by, I think, 7 or 10 at the time, whatever it was. And when Mahomes came back out, and obviously looked amazing the first drive.
So crazy.
I was like, oh, I got a shot at this.
Wow.
And,
What a feeling.
it really was. But truth be told, I was already down $1.5 million at the Atlantis.
Oh, okay.
And then every bookmaking account I was betting on, I was already down for the week.
Oh.
So sadly, out of the
Got back to
4.6,
out.
I made money,
Made
but it
some
was
money.
minimal. Like,
Yeah.
I came home with $200,000 from Atlantis, which is nothing, consider all the risks and exposure I had. And then I came home to collect some packages around town for like literally $800,000.
Wow.
So I bet 4.6 million, could have been now 9 million, and I came home and maybe had $1 million total collected out of that whole process of the trip.
Westgate Superbook Super Contest. This year we also have the Super Contest College, $500 an entry. I'm so pumped up for this. There's 568 people in this contest right now. I expect it to probably go up to about 900. You only have like a week though, so make sure you get in before August 29th. $500, like I said, 7 picks against the spread. This is something that's revolutionary. The town never had it before. Looking forward to this super contest. $1,500 in entry, up to $535,000 in the prize pool already. Super contest gold, super contest survivor. This is going to be really good over here at the Westgate.
How many times would you say you have risked pretty much your entire net worth?
Oh, God.
Many times.
It sounds like a ton.
Many times.
Many times.
Wow.
Truly. I've risked my net worth and money that I don't have many times. Like, I'm not even proud of it. I'm just being honest.
No,
Yeah.
it's good you're being honest because something people can't do.
Well,
Yeah.
they struggle with it. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm actually the opposite. I just tell the truth too much and
Right.
say too much, which is very obvious based on my case. You know, my
Right.
attorneys hate what I'm doing right now.
And
Wow.
I know there's so clearly you said there's multiple people that you've been able to borrow from
Yeah.
through your relationships and stuff, which speaks to the kind of person you are to be able to have access to money like that. But there's definitely been times where you even were like, "Oh shit, I'm in a jam now." Like,
Listen, I'm not afraid to admit it. I owed the Wynn Las Vegas. I lost $3 million there. I couldn't pay when I got home. Went on a payments plan. They took me to the Clark County DA's office. I had to pay 10% juice on it. Paid that off. Paid the win. You know, I end up making it right always. But I've been multiple times where
Wait, you paid the juice on it, you said?
Yeah.
I talk on my hands a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you paid the juice on it. Now, after you owed that money out, did you get credit again?
no, not a win.
Casinos? No, from casinos in general.
Of course I did.
Because it goes to Central Credit.
Of course I did.
And-
And even with the remarks.
Even
and
with the
everything,
remarks, they
yes,
still put you in.
1,000,000%.
Casinos really, they love to bury people. No, they really do. I mean,
Listen, they're not dumb. They have the best collection
yeah,
agency
you're
in
writing
the
a bad
world.
check. It's a felony.
You're going to jail
Yeah.
if you don't pay.
Yep.
If a bookmaker had that,
Right.
I mean, other than back in the day when the mob would just do something drastic
Sure.
to you, there's no better collection agency than the jail.
You know, I want to go
Right.
back to Punta
Yeah.
Cana. I'll tell you why. Something you don't know. I've never really told the story to almost anyone except for my wife. So I'm in Punta Cana on that trip, and I win $150,000 in that tournament. That's what I won in that
Right.
tournament. I mean, I had a double on a 17 versus I had
so insane.
I had a double on a 17. And I'm telling the story. I
Yeah.
think you had a 19.
Yeah.
I had a 17.
oh, you guys were heads up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. down to the last.
Down to the
last
last.
hand, and he obviously won.
No, I had a
And-
double on a 17. I got a 3.
Yeah.
That's not the point. Was really
Is
that.
this how you met, or you already
no,
knew
I
each
already
other?
No, we knew each
Okay,
other
you already
before
knew each
that.
other.
We
Okay.
saw each other a million times.
I actually
You know.
felt it. And you know, usually I would say, let's split. Can we split the money?
Yeah.
This money was nothing to him. He's not going to split 100. He might have.
We actually talked about it, and I'm
Did
like,
we?
and I said, you were like, hey, and I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I'm betting this one
Yeah,
hand.
you're betting this on one hand.
And you're like, okay. And
Okay.
then it ended up working out for you.
And then, but I got lucky. But here, the point I want to tell you that you don't know. So they wouldn't give me a check. I wanted a check.
Okay.
They wouldn't give me a cashier check. They wouldn't give me a check. They said, no, you have to take the cash. We don't deal with cashier checks with the states. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Wow.
So and the director of marketing, the guy that was the head of
Miguel?
the place, did not like any. He didn't like any of us.
Yeah.
He just didn't like. Even though he was, and it might have been him. They made me take the cash.
Wow.
So now I have
Traveling
to.
through.
I have to go and
customs.
I have to go and declare it through FinCEN.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the nastiest people that I've ever dealt with, probably at an airport or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I said I want to declare it. I say Google my name. I declare tax win every year. I
Right.
showed them the things, and they still like put me in the back room and locked up the money. I thought I wasn't going to get the money. I thought they were going to steal the money from me. That's what I thought.
Okay.
I heard horror stories of people landing in the airport there in Dominican Republic and driving over to Punta Cana, the casino, which is probably like 30 minutes away.
Right.
I heard horror stories about some things happening, but that's never happened to me. They pick you up in a limo, but I heard people got pulled over and robbed. That's what I heard.
Wow.
So,
You-
do you have any stories? Because I heard in the book, I'm hearing that you have a story
Yeah.
of something happened to you.
I think it's more than a horror story.
Yeah.
So I went, my wife and I got married in 2018. Pelican Hill, amazing wedding. Best time of my life. 2016, at the end of 16, we were looking for places for a bachelorette party. So in 17, I went to Baja Mar. Just opened.
Beautiful place.
Beautiful place, right? Gorgeous. We go there. I went 165,000. Sticking around, checking out a location, $1 million line. Strike that. I had $1 million line that time. I already told you a story off camera about Periente giving me, promised me $1 million, only give me 500,000. That was the next trip. Anyway, I had $1 million line. I won 165,000. It's like 5:30 in the morning. We go to the airport, and you fill out the customs forms. Well, I did not declare the money, and the reason I didn't declare the money is not because I was trying to hide it for tax purposes. Because if you fast forward about 6 months earlier, I won about 300,000 in Las Vegas. I came through the airport. They put it through the scanner, got flagged. The TSA agent called the supervisor over. They came over. Okay, where'd you get this? Caesar's Palace. Here's the phone number of my host. Please call him, verify it. Okay, this is through, right? I land at John Wayne Airport. We're there, me and my wife. All of a sudden, we're waiting for my bags to come down. I see two guys with badges walk up to me. You could tell they're looking at me like, like they're looking at a picture. Hey, you're Matt Bowyer, right? I said, yeah. Hi, Homeland Security, John, whatever his name is. I said, okay. We need you to grab your bags and come with us. I said, well, what did I do? I said, well, we'll discuss that. No problem. So I'm waiting with two agents. My wife is about, I would say seriously, like 5 or 6 feet away from me. The money's in her bag, carry on. And she looks at me and I give her the eye like, because the one agent had to go get another agent, a woman, because clearly they're about to strip search us or whatever. So I had this agent that I'm talking to literally kind of turned a little bit and I gave her she just grabbed the bag and went straight out the door. If you guys know where Orange County Airport, the luggage, the baggage carousel is very close to the front door. She went right out the door.
Wow.
Okay, so this is a true story, verifiable. And so I have my phone. They didn't take my phone. And I'm texting her, get the fuck out of here. Just go across the street. El Torito's across the street. So we didn't do anything wrong, but I know where this is going.
Yeah.
By the way, I've lost 6 packages through UPS, FedEx, mail.
Sure.
One for $250,000. Wow. It's all verifiable in the reports. A mafia guy sent me $250,000. I thought he lied. Later, I found out it was true. He did mail me the money. The government took it. Anyway, long story short, she leaves. Now the other agent comes back and he goes, "Where's your girlfriend?" Because we weren't married then. I said, "I don't know." Because you don't have to answer anything, right? And then there's another attractive woman, maybe another 10 feet over. They grab her, take us back, separate us. She's obviously,
what's going on?
You can hear her. I don't know this guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God.
They went through all her luggage, okay, separated us. They won't let us talk because they think we're together, which we're not. And then I grab they let us grab our luggage. I have luggage. Now I have women's clothing. I have my wife's stuff. And they see she has her stuff. So they clearly have realized by now something's wrong, right? And they're asking me, where's the money? And I said, I don't know. I just got on the plane. I don't have to answer these questions, Basically, I'm being kind but a dick, And so they go through all the luggage and they're like, well, why do you have women's clothing? I go, anything goes in Vegas. They're like, oh, you're going to be a smart ass, huh?
Right.
I'm like, sir, am I being arrested? Like, what did I do? And they're like, you're not being arrested. So I get all my stuff and then let me go. So, of course, I get my car out of valet. I go pick up my wife. I'm making sure I'm not being tailed because she has the money. I get home and I get rid of it. Okay. Now, the reason I tell you that story is 6 months later, the story you're asking about is occurring. I know that if I go through any TSA, they're grabbing the money. Because what they do is the government's smart. They take your money if you're doing anything in the gray area and they make you claim it. And we all know that if you're doing anything gray, if you can't really claim anything or you don't even want to go there anyway, let's be real, you just let it go.
Yeah.
So if they take it, it's gone, right? So I don't declare it. So in the Bahamas, they have U.S. Customs, unlike most places you fly home first.
Right.
And I think that's because we own part of the Bahamas, whatever, a treaty or whatever it is. Anyway, I go through there. I get flagged. Surprise, surprise. Pulled aside. Do you have over 10,000 U.S. currency? I said, yes, sir, I do. Why did you answer no? I said, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm hungover. I'm giving some bullshit. He says, okay, well, that's failure to declare. I said, okay, no problem. I'm assuming they're just going to take the money, right? So we get back in the back room. Our flight's already gone. And my wife's like, hey, we're going to miss our flight. Can we book another one? He's like, oh, no. We're going to turn you over to the Bohemian government.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Yeah, and I said, well, I don't understand. You're taking the money. Like, what did we do wrong? It's a failure to declare, which is a felony. Didn't know that. I said, okay, honey, go ahead and book a flight. I'll deal with this. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving you here. And the guy says, well, no, you guys are both going to the station. And I said, well, what did she do? Well, she's with you. She's traveling with you. She's guilty of the same crime. I said, huh? I said, what are you talking about? So next you know, we're in a Bohemian station. They drive us to a station in a van. We get to the station, and they let me speak to the U.S. Embassy. The U.S. Embassy did absolutely nothing. They asked what I did and what the crime was. They realized it was minor in their eyes, right? It wasn't like I was going to be held for whatever. So the guy says, stand up, please. And then the guard comes around, puts us in cuffs. My wife is hysterical. She's bawling. Never been handcuffed her whole life. We're in a Bohemian jail. They take us back to holding cell. There's like 6 cells. She gets placed with a woman who's on crack, who's just literally shaking.
Oh, God.
I go in a cell with a guy who just, he's Canadian, who just grabbed a waitress's ass. So in Baja Mar, so they threw him in jail. And then aside from us is 3 Bohemians who did, I don't know what they did. Anyway, so they're heckling my wife because they could see her from this cell and they're just being fucking punks.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, so here we are. And about 3 hours go by. Now they transport us to the prison. So we get there and my wife starts hyperventilating. And I feel the most helpless I've ever felt in my life.
Oh, my God.
And I'm trying to beg. I'm begging them, just please, just let her go. Like, she did nothing. I don't even know what they're doing with me, but I mean, you know, come on, really? You're going to put her in prison? So we get there, and they take 3 guys out of a cell who are shackled. And she sees that, and then she literally goes into, I would call it almost convulsions. And then the warden says, "Are you a threat to harm yourself?" And she's like, "No." And I said, yeah. I mean, clearly that's a positive, whatever.
Sure.
He's trying to offer some help here.
Right.
So she says, "Oh, okay." So he allows her to go back to the other jail cell because she's claustrophobic and now we're in a prison, right? So they drive her back and they put me in a prison cell. It's 2 blocks, a toilet that doesn't work, 3 guys in there. It's a 2-man cell. 2 guys are laying down. So I sit in a corner and there's feces everywhere. There's about 7 water bottles full of piss.
Oh, God.
And that's what you go to the bathroom in. And they say, "What's up, Cracker?" And so here we go, you know. And luckily they didn't want any problems. But I stood in the little corner and just waited. No water, no food, no explanation. No, I don't know where my wife is, and I have no idea how long I'm sitting there. So this was Sunday at like maybe, I would say about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Finally, we ended up in the prison because we went to the airport at like 6 in the morning. Long story short, Monday, a whole day goes by. Monday, they pull me out, drive me to the courthouse because it was Sunday. That's why I couldn't see a judge. So I go in front of a judge. And this is the crazy part of the story. They said, "Mr. Bowyer, you owe a $5,000 fine for each of you. And you have to pay an attorney if you'd like to hire an attorney." I said, "Yes, I'd like an attorney." "Okay, well, we happen to have 2 in the back of the courtroom." So she allows us to go speak to these 2 attorneys, choose one. So we need $12,000 to pay all the fines and get this over with. Go back in front of the judge. "Okay, here's my American Express." We don't take American Express. "Okay, well, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I cannot get you $1. You've taken all 165,000. What can you do?" I said, "The only thing I can do is go back to the casino." And she says, "Well, then you're going to have to go back to jail until someone wires you the money." And I said, "Ma'am, I have the money. You're not taking the credit card. You took all my money." "Sorry." So the lawyer says, "Your Honor, would you allow the guest to go back to Baja Mar and pull from his credit line?" She says, "Yes."
Oh, wow.
I get in a police car. My wife is in a holding cell.
Unbelievable.
They put the siren on the car because they know of limited time. It's now 2:30.
Right.
I have to be back by 4
Right.
to pay the fines before the court closes.
Okay.
We drive probably like a race car. Truly, the police guy was really understanding my situation. I walk in the Baja Mar Casino. I'm dirty because even though it was only a day and a half, you're sweaty. It's gross. It's hot. There's no AC in there. And it's feces. I'm literally dirty. I look like a castaway. I walk up to the cage. I walk right up. I say, "Hi, ma'am. I'd like to extract Matt Bowyer. I'm having some serious trauma right now." I'm like telling her what's going on. "I'd like $12,000, please."
Right.
"Bill, you know this."
Yeah.
"Sorry, Mr. Bowyer, you just won 165,000, and we can't give you $12,000.
In other words, he won money.
No, I get it.
So he has to use that money first before you go back
Right.
to your credit line.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she says, I said, "Well, I understand that, but this is a little different situation. It's 12 grand. I'm good for it. I have $1 million credit line." She says, "Well, unfortunately, we can't do that." I said, "Well, please get me the manager." I think Periente wasn't there. Ben Slepian was my host.
Okay.
Ben tried, there's to no avail. So I said to her, I said, "So you're telling me the only way that I can get out of this country and
Go
get
take a
home
marker?
is to go gamble?"
It's
She says,
unbelievable.
"I can't tell you what to do." But
Right.
So I turn around. There's an officer standing 10 feet behind me. I'm not exaggerating. I walk over to the table,
Blackjack table or
baccarat,
table?
and I tell the officer, "I'm sorry, sir, I have to go here," because he doesn't even understand what's going
No,
on.
they don't know what's going on.
I said, "I need to go over here to get the money."
Right.
I walk over, 12,000, first hand,
Oh, you took a marker for 12.
12,000.
Okay.
What do you think happened?
Lose.
Loser. 24,000 second hand. What do you think happened?
Oh my God.
Lose. 48,000.
Oh my
Lose.
God, this is the
Lost all 3 hands.
martingale.
Player or banker? What are you on?
I don't
Doesn't-
recall.
Okay.
But I'll be honest with you. Those are the 3 worst hands I've been more nervous in my entire life.
Right.
Any gamble I've ever had in my whole life.
You're finally sweating at a
$4.6
table.
million. Didn't even touch that.
Wow.
Swear on my kids.
Wow.
That's how nervous I was. I'm shaking now because every loss means I got to win the next hand. And
Yeah.
now I'm at a point where I can't bet enough to win it back.
That's right. There's limits.
Here comes the manager running up to the table. Mr. Bowyer, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to play. It's okay. Let me walk you to the cage. So we walks me to the cage. And now he gives me the 12,000.
Oh, wow.
The 2, I got 12 because I wanted 2 of pocket change. It was 10 grand.
Right.
Drives me back to the courthouse. I make it by 4:10. We pay. They release us. We had to have a flight confirmation to leave the country because we're being deported. And I get home and I had to wire them the money I lost and the marker I took out. So not only lose the 165, I had to pay. It was like just under 100 grand.
What a harsh.
Yeah. And that was my story of going through
That's in the book.
100%, the whole story.
Incredible.
And
Wow.
What made him change it? Like, why did he?
because he had the authority to make that decision.
Someone came with
someone with
sensibility.
serious
Yeah.
authority. Yeah, like everyone else couldn't approve that,
Right.
and clearly, and it wasn't Alex Periente. Actually, it was like someone just below him.
Right.
I think I actually put in the book it was Alex Periente because I couldn't think of the guy's name, but it really wasn't because Periente was not there.
So did you know all right, you made a mistake. You didn't declare the money.
Correct.
Did they get to keep the money? You still didn't get it back?
Oh no, the money was long gone.
So you don't get, even though you made a mistake, who keeps the money? The country?
Bohemian government kept it.
Wow. And that
I
was
thought-
my big fear in Dominican Republic because they said
Yeah.
$5,000 to get out of the country.
Right.
You have to give 5,000 of the money up.
I actually
fought-
believe because we both have been to both locations.
Yeah.
I believe Dominican is much more gray area than even the Bahamas.
Yes.
Like as far as
Yes.
paying people off.
Yep.
The Bahamas, I believe, they kept the money clearly,
Yeah.
but I was told that the Bohemian government, or I should say the customs agents, are told when customers win a lot of money
Yes.
to see if they declare it
Wow.
because it happens all the time. But they usually just take the money.
Wow.
So I wasn't even worried. I was
Sure.
thinking, okay, I just got fucked for 165K. That sucks. I won the money. I had a great time. Whatever. My fault. I should have wired it.
Wow. And the most thing you feel bad about is your wife or your girlfriend.
Oh, absolutely.
in jail.
Dragging him
Yeah.
down and
What was the movie with the Turkish jail? The guy went to jail for a little bit of pot. I mean, it was just that thinking of those kind of scenes, you say to yourself, "Oh my God,
Right.
I'm gonna ruin." I bet you she's never went back again.
Ironically, we went back for our bachelorette party
love it.
45 days later, but she did not want to. And I said, babe, let's not let
good.
this, it's kind of the point of my book. Like, you can't let something in your life, derail you and change who you are. Like, of course, I understand why she didn't want to go back, but it was more like why we should go back. We'll do it right. I will never, promise her I will never go through an airport with over $10,000.
Right.
I won't,
Right.
as I've learned my lesson. Just like, unfortunately, I'll never be taking a sports bet the rest of my life. I
Sure.
won't take one. I might make one day.
Sure.
But I will not. And it's not because I'm just not going to put myself in that position. The risk, reward,
Yeah.
all the negatives I'm dealing with. It's just, I'll never do it again.
And what did you? Now let's go back. Let's go fast forward a little bit. So you had these big customers, and you had little customers. You had agents all over the place, which I never ever knew. I thought it was you. I didn't know you had agents.
Yeah, no, I
didn't know you
had
had
48 agents across the
48
country.
agents.
I did.
Wow.
Some of them only had 8 players.
Doesn't matter.
Some had 50.
You had a big operation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Wager Wire, and this is their segment here. This parlay, boy, I'm tough on parlays. This particular one, so it's a 4-teamer. Inter Miami, which they already won, that's plus 195. Mexico Gold Cup winner, plus 185. The Lynx, WNBA, they're currently the favorite. They're plus 140 on this, and Buffalo won the Super Bowl, plus 7-1. So the current bet offer, I was thinking to myself, wow, it seems like it's pretty low considering the first 2 legs in, and it's $50 to win. 11,570 is a true number. So the current bet offer is $613 at WagerWire. The cash out offer is $422. So it's a 50% boost from the offer that the sportsbook wants to give you. Of course, through the WagerWire app and WagerWire, they give you more. But I look at this bet, I'm not cashing this out. The Lynx are currently the favorite to win the WNBA winner title. And the Bills, a lot of the wise guys like the Bills this year. So I think closer towards the Super Bowl, if you get the Lynx in there, you're going to get a good buyout offer from WagerWire. So I'm going to say don't take the money right now and that $563 profit. Do not take it. let's continue this parlay, you guys, and hopefully the links get there, and you can make a lot more money with the Buffalo Bills for the Super Bowl, or you can actually sell it right before the Super Bowl. So what did you do? Like, how did this come about where you had these big players and you had actually now what everyone wants to know, Ohtani's his assistant, is that correct?
Yeah.
How did you get him? What's his story?
So my good friend, in fact, he called just a minute ago.
Okay.
He has a really good relationship with David Fletcher,
Okay.
you know, who obviously played for the Angels. And we're all buddies, and we go golfing and gamble on the golf course and hang out. And in that relationship, he developed, you know, more ball player relationships. So anyway, we went to a Padres Angels game back in 2021, and we would go to spring training with these guys. I'd go to the Arizona casinos with them, hang out, play blackjack, whatever. And then we'd play golf, of course. That day, we went to the game. And then that night after the game, we went to their private, I'm going to call it private poker game, but it really is just the players come back to the hotel and they just won, lost, whatever. They go, you know, eat some pizza and play cards. It's something I think all NBA, I mean, they play on the planes. It's just, let's be honest, they all gamble.
Sure.
You know, so I shouldn't say they all, most.
Yeah.
Long story short, Ippei was there, the interpreter, and he was on his phone putting in bets, you know, literally on soccer games.
Sure.
So my buddy's like, hey, you know, Matt can help you with that. You know,
Right.
you know, that introduction led to, of course, him starting with a small account, $1,000, $8,000 credit line, which turned into $300,000, which turned into $500,000, and then ended up being $40 million.
So he had a $300,000 credit line, or
Initially $8,000.
okay,
He was betting $1,000 a game.
Sure.
His first bet, which it's all public, they put out every text message, everything. $1,000 on a Turkish soccer game.
right?
And literally, and then it turned into he blew the 8,000. Asked for more credit. I gave it to him.
Sure.
Let's be honest. I didn't think the interpreter for Shohei Ohtani was going to stiff me.
Sure.
And I extended his credit line and got to 300. Then he paid it.
He paid the $300,000.
Wired me 300K.
Yeah.
Then he asked for 500. Well, shit, he just paid me 300.
Sure.
And he's clearly a bad gambler. So greedy wise, I was like, yeah, I'll give him 500. So I give him 500. He blows that. He pays. Then he asks for another 500. Another 500. And as he's losing, he's like, look, I'm going to always pay you. Just give me more credit because I can't get access to the money instantly all the time to send $1 million wires.
Right.
I didn't care. You know, I didn't ask who it was from. To be honest, I didn't even know it was Shohei Ohtani until like the third wire.
Right.
But once I saw that name, I was like, holy shit.
The wire came from Ohtani?
Yes.
You seen a wire from
Shohei Ohtani.
And you must have been like, oh my God, this is one of the biggest players ever in the history of baseball.
Well,
really.
to me, is like I had two feelings, right? The first feeling is the greed side of me is like, wow, I'm never going to have to worry about getting paid. I have the best customer on the planet.
Yeah.
Because he clearly wasn't good at gambling. And then the second part of me is like, this is going to put eyes on me. And this could be bad. And then I was like, I better make sure he's not betting baseball. So I went and checked, and there's no baseball bets, thank God. So I was like, all right, you know, I mean, this is really
He's betting soccer, which is the biggest bet sport in the world. People don't realize that.
by far.
Yeah.
Was it actually Ohtani making the bets, though?
No.
It was always the interpreter.
It definitely was the interpreter. As far as this is the part that's still, in my opinion, in question.
Right.
Did Ohtani know that the interpreter was gambling and to the level he was, and did he steal his money or borrow it, or that part to me is still in question, but clearly it's known that he stole the money, and that's why he's in prison, which I feel terrible for, to be honest, because I'm a greedy guy. I love money. I'm not going to act like I don't, but I definitely don't want to be part of a fraud scheme, or I didn't want to affect baseball or Shohei Ohtani's, tarnished name. I mean, I hate to say it, but I have some play in that, not on purpose.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that bothers me.
And he went to jail right now. And did he get like 5 years?
Yeah, he's in prison 57 months in Pennsylvania.
You must feel terrible. The guy you were dealing with all the time. He was a nice guy.
I really
paid
do.
You,
Very honorable guy. I think he would have paid every dollar. I didn't know he was stealing the money.
Sure.
People ask me, well, how'd you give an interpreter who makes $200,000 a year, $40 million in credit? I'm like, well, I didn't ask who it was. One thing about being a bookmaker, at least for me, was
you don't get personal.
Yeah, I mean, I have a relationship, but it's very business savvy, and my job is to give them a service, and their job is to use the service, right? Of course, I don't want people to blow their brains out and lose more money than they can afford, but I can't control what they're telling me. I can't control where they're getting their money, and to be honest, it's not my business.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it is, but it's not.
And in the book, it actually says that I believe Ohtani was on the mound pitching.
He was. I went to a game. That's correct.
And there's bets coming in as he's pitching.
Yeah.
And you really, if you
That's
had,
when I realized.
If you had any little inkling that might be him, you knew it was.
That's exactly the moment I really, to be honest, he was pitching that night. There's Angel game here, and I was like, I need to find out, excuse me, I need to make sure that Shohei Ohtani is not putting these bets in without asking, because I really didn't want to know. So I went to the game, and I was watching him pitch, and I'm on my website, and Turkish soccer games, and, you know, all this bets are firing, and I'm like, you know, that guy is very talented, but I promise you, he can't be on a cell phone and pitch at the same time. So I knew. And then I was like, okay, what Crack, you know this? Maybe they're partners on the account. But let's be honest, either you gamble or you don't.
Right.
And he's known to be a guy who's never gambled. And you've been known, as I have, as a guy who always gambles.
Right.
So, you know, if John doesn't gamble and he never has,
right.
he's not going to all of a sudden start betting $40 million on sports.
Yeah.
This is not going to happen.
Yeah. And Ohtani easily could not have known. I'm going to use this example, and you can cut it if you want. John's dad, Tony Orlando.
Yeah.
He had how much stolen from him? 10 million?
Yeah, over a 14-year span.
He had 14-year span. His assistant, his right-hand man, his accountant, stole 14 million of his money.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize.
Yeah, that's something I was going to bring up is, you know, I used to own a PR firm, and I represented, I won't say names, but I represented a lot of NFL Hall of Famers, a lot of Olympic gold medalists, world record holders, and I had a lot of clients for many, many years and became very good friends with them, as you probably became good friends with your clients.
Of course.
You become good friends. It's just what happens.
Yeah, relationship.
And when you have the trust of someone that is high profile, I absolutely had access to, I had American Express cards. I had credit card numbers.
Right.
Because sometimes you're booking, you know, you're the publicist, but you're also the personal assistant in many cases, and you're booking rent-a-car and rooms and flights and stuff and dinner reservations, and it's a big party, so you have to give someone a credit card number to hold the table and all that stuff. And I could have done the same type of thing on a much smaller scale, but still, you're talking about millions of dollars.
Of course.
It's so easy to do. The people that, you know, because I read when the story first broke, people commenting, how could he not see 14 million missing or whatever the number?
Right.
It's so easy. They're busy, man. They're
not only that, John, to take it another step, this is my assumption, but what I've figured out is, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
The wires, when I would ask to be paid, of course. He owed me $24 million to this day.
Holy God.
You know, that's what I'm still owed.
I didn't know that.
No, I never got paid, $24 million. So he was sending like $500K at a time, a couple times $1 million, but mostly $500K. And he'd always say, Ippei, hey man, yeah, I should be able to get that wire to you next week. And I realize now, because I didn't know this till later, he was waiting on the Angels to pay. That's what it was. Because that account from I'm pretty put it all together was his Angels money. Of course, he had a separate account, endorsement money, which is way bigger than who made the Angels.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, people were like, how does he not notice? I get what you're saying, because if you have, let's call it what, 16, 17 million in this account, but you have 150 million in this one, this is the one you know, Shohei's probably paying his bills or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
This one's just like, it's your Angels paycheck.
Right.
I mean, when you're that wealthy,
and there's probably so much activity either way. Of course. People moving money, whatever.
I imagine.
No one catches it, and he's the interpreter. At the end of the day, he's the go-between, right?
Right.
So he can even, I don't know if this happened in this case, but like if there are business managers are involved or other people looking at Shohei's money, you're still dealing with the interpreter.
Correct.
He's busy playing baseball. So he very easily can fire off a text and say, hey, Shohei said this, and you're not going to question it.
Of course, it's the interpreter. And he was even, I don't know if you guys know this, but he got caught calling the bank, acting as Shohei and doing things, initiating wires and et cetera. So clearly,
how much did he pay you? How much?
$16.2 million.
So he paid you $16 million.
Biggest client ever?
Oh, by far.
Oh,
yeah.
16 million. And let's face it, in the end, the casinos got the money.
They did. I lost it all to Resorts
Isn't that
World.
amazing?
Yeah.
I lost 13
in the end, the casinos get to keep the money. All of these things you see, American Greed, these different shows, a lot of them are on gambling. And in the end, the casinos get all the money. How nice.
Yeah, I
they
get
get to keep the
13 and change to them.
Wow.
You know, over a 2-year period of maybe a year and a half. And of course, you know this. I mean, the casinos are the ones that are still fighting with the government right now in this current case that I have. But I'm the one going to prison, and I really do take accountability for my own actions. But it's kind of sad that the casino got away with all the money, and then they have yet to even, you know, have any accountability.
And I'm sure the government came to you with a deal and saying you can rat out your agents, rat out your customers even. They want to get other cases and other monies involved.
Of course.
And we'll give you no time.
I definitely could have stepped on a lot of people's throats for sure. I know 40 bookmakers across the country that are very big and have a lot of money and can be exposed. And I would not talk about any of them.
Right.
And there's some articles that we were talking about earlier that just came out.
Yeah.
Damian LaForbes, who also is in this case, is a great friend of mine.
Okay.
I was gambling with him. It's a very known fact that he was a bookmaker. It's very obvious. So I could say that now. But when the government comes in and seizes your electronic devices, that's evidence.
Right.
You can say that you don't want to give that up, but they have it.
Right.
So they're going to use that evidence. And if that evidence leads them to other cases, if that makes me a rat, then I'm a rat. But in reality, I would not give up anybody. Now, did I cooperate with the United States government in regards to Resorts World and the casino?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep,
I did. And I'm guilty of that. And that definitely helped save me from 4 or 5 year prison sentence. I'm looking at 15 months as of now. It could be less, could be more, who knows? But at the end of the day, I mean, the casinos they were involved. They understood I was a bookmaker. You know this. You've been going, all these casinos knew I was a bookmaker. But I'm okay with dealing with what I did wrong because I did do something in the gray area.
Yes.
Even if I don't agree with the laws, I knew the law. I knew I was breaking it.
My first credit line, around 1999, I'm at a casino downtown Las Vegas. And my buddy said, oh, if you need some money, I'll get you a credit line. He's just a player, a big player. And I'm like, how do you get a credit line? How do you do that?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no, I want to get you, well, trust me, the host will get you a credit line. To this day, I still can't believe what happened. I had about $4,000 in the bank, and I had a $50,000 line in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something. I really didn't have a job.
Can that still happen today, though?
Now I think, believe it or not, he probably doesn't realize this. I think his case is instrumental why it can't happen today.
Why it can't.
Why it cannot happen today.
But there's no question of that.
That $50,000 line, I went to other casinos and opened up lines of credit based on me borrowing and paying back. Oh, this guy's good. Central Credit hit it. They never checked to see if I had a job, money in the bank. And now it happened after they checked a little bit.
Of course.
And said, hey, Bill, you have to get the $50,000 in an account to cover your line here. Wynn was real strict with that. But I cannot believe what happened back then. That's how I got casino credit everywhere, was because one host put it in for me and got it pushed through credit.
Right.
I'm telling you, no one checked anything. I had it the same day. Now the KYC laws, which is know your customer laws. Correct. Casinos are really enforcing that. And I have to tell you, I think your case is instrumental in them forcing that now.
There's no question.
Casino host doesn't want to go to a player and say, hey, that $25,000 you got, they want to know where you got it from. And that just happened in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock to a friend of mine. He literally went in and with $50,000 cash, and they wouldn't let him go over 10 unless he had.
You had to prove everything.
Yeah, they had his ID, they had his stuff on file. Now they're pushing this KYC law. They don't want to do it.
No, but they have to.
I think your case is instrumental. The resorts world, the whole thing.
No doubt. In fact, I'll even go as far to say there was a point where I had probably $400,000 in my bank account, and I had $8 million in credit lines throughout the country.
There you go. Wow.
I had $2 million at Dominican, $2 million at Bahamas, $2 million here. I mean, you know this.
Did you have to float markers to pay other ones?
Oh, for sure.
So you have to juggle markers. You have to take money, and now you have to hope to cash them out to pay the other casino.
Let me tell you a real quick story. I took my children to Panama, Dominican Republic, Bahamas, and Foxwoods, all on private jets in about a 3-week period. I owed money at the first casino, $2 million. So I took a marker from here, paid this one, went to this one, paid this one, lost here, just shuffled the whole markers in all 4 trips, and I walked out of there with a free trip to all 4 spots. I have pictures of it. My kids went to Panama. You remember Panama?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to there?
Trump Casino there?
Yeah, it's closed now.
It's closed.
I beat them for $4.4 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Baccarat?
one.
Wow.
Yeah, baccarat, all baccarat.
Always baccarat.
Well, I played blackjack there, but I got caught counting, so they shut me off.
Right.
But then I beat Cosmo. Bill Macbeth shut me off, 5-point-something million.
Wow.
But then don't get me wrong, I've lost many other ones like Palazzo. I lost over $3 million. Resorts were 13. But my point is, I was juggling all of that, and you know this. If you work a good deal, which is why I was the only one, I think only one to get my wife as a licensed casino host. I pulled that off. That was a smart move.
So
a little late in the game.
Being the rep instead of a casino host. His wife wound up being the rep because they get a percentage of the Theo of the customer. Or
became like an independent host.
Yes, an independent host.
She got licensed as an independent rep, and when we would bring my entourage, let's call it, to Vegas, she would make a commission of $30,000 to $50,000.
Yeah.
Whether I won or lost.
On top of you're getting a rebate.
That's correct.
Right.
So I'm getting a 20% discount.
Yep.
She's getting her commission. And then, of course, I'm negotiating just like you did, Bill.
Sure.
I want gift cards. I want Louis. You see some of the liquor here in my house, or, I want this Chanel purse for my wife or this watch. You negotiate everything. I mean, I was a king of that because I knew that they wanted the high-end business. And let's be honest, over time, I'm going to lose anyway. So why not negotiate the best deal?
Sure. As
a degenerate,
sure.
I'm going to put in the Theo. I'm going to put in the time. So that's the only way I could even out the odds as best I could. Because as you know, you're going to get cut off playing, sharp stuff or counting cards and blackjack.
Sure.
Too.
So let's go to that date. I think it was October 5th, 2023.
Yeah, correct.
So let's go to that date now. I seen on your Instagram, we got 10 million hits.
Yeah.
On the Instagram saying that you guys were somewhere smiling.
Right.
And then when you got home, everything changed for you.
Yeah. That particular weekend, if you go back and look, I think it was October 3rd. I was in Dallas Cowboys game. Stadium.
Okay.
We took 2 jets from Resorts World. There was 16 of us. We flew to the stadium. They bought a suite. I bet $800,000 on the game. I won on the Cowboys beat the shit out of the Raiders. And I was down $1.5 million at Resorts World. We came back that night. I took the $800,000 I won. I won it all back. So I ended up winning that trip, which I never beat that place, by the way, ever.
Wow.
And we flew home on Monday. And then 2 days later, the FBI came and raided my home, 29 agents and a dog.
6 in the morning. And
it was 9:33 a.m. I'll never forget.
Wow.
I was putting my son in the G-Wagon, and I heard FBI freeze. And I look over and 8 red dots on my chest.
8 red dots?
Yeah. AR rifles full.
They're going to shoot a bookmaker?
Right here, right in my driveway.
They're going to shoot a bookmaker? I mean,
they definitely came prepared.
Wow.
I mean.
And you're in complete shock.
He's got his little kid there.
No, I had my son. He's 2 years old. And, of course, they didn't cuff me because I was holding my son. And then they put me on the other side of the driveway, and then they barged in through here.
29
and got my wife, cuffed her. She was laying on the floor crying. And then I had a handyman painting, and they cuffed him and brought him out.
They cuffed the handyman?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did they, what did they take in here? Did they get money? Did they get cash?
Yeah, about $270 in cash,
okay.
Gold coins, casino chips, jewelry, about 30 handbags.
Is it like the movies where they just turn the house upside down?
Yeah.
Type of thing? It really is.
It really is.
Did they know where to go? Did you have like secret money stashed?
I opened every safe for them. I did not. I opened everything. I cooperated completely.
You cooperated. Just show them, hey, here's where
I said I knew they were going to find it. So why make it hard? They just rip open your stuff more.
Right.
And they're just doing their job. At the end of the day, like, I didn't sign up to be an FBI agent, so I can't be mad at them for that's their job. And I understand. So I try to be kind to them because they're going to do their job. You might as well make it easier on them.
Right.
They're going to find everything in your house.
What's going through your mind at that point? Are you sitting there going, oh my God, like my life is just completely over?
Well, I was raided in 2014 by the feds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was a little different experience. There's like 14 of them, and they took the money. I signed over an abandonment form, which states that I committed a crime. I'm admitting I committed the crime, but I won't be charged for it as long as they release the money and I don't hire an attorney. So, to be honest, my mistake at that point, I was 39 years old, father of 4, greedy, love gambling, love sports. I'll just build a bigger business. It's kind of like, you don't learn a lesson from that, I guess. I mean, that's the message here. I should have walked away. I had an opportunity to do something else.
Yeah.
But I just built a bigger business.
Sure.
And when they came back this time, it was much harsher.
And in the end, I've been on those private jets. I've been on maybe 10 in my life, going down with a bunch of big gamblers and stuff. In the end, that's the stuff you miss. You miss the
lifestyle.
The lifestyle. It's so cool having great dinners and it's something that you've probably been on hundreds of these jets and big parties and maybe even $5,000, $10,000 dinners and stuff, being part of them.
Worse, Bill. So my son, you guys saw my son, he's 4 now.
Yep.
He was 2 when I got raided, and he's been on 44 private jet flights in 2 years. 44
Wow.
times. So we were going every 2 weeks, right?
Right.
And then, I'd bring my nanny, I'd bring everybody. I'd bring my whole entourage because I'm a family guy at the end of the day. I love my kids.
Of course.
So instead of me going out there and leaving my family at home, I said, I'll bring them to my office, right? So that being said, we've probably been on, 500 jets.
Wow.
We had in Dominican, I don't know if you were there for this trip, we had a private concert with Andrea Bocelli.
Wow.
Meet and greet with my wife and I, literally front row, 17 of us. We've been to Blake Shelton backstage. I mean,
Sure.
I played golf with Charles Barkley, Travis Kelce, and the American Century Championship.
Sure.
I put a picture in my book. It's a receipt to talk about dinners. Guy Sauva, a $15,000 dinner.
Wow.
It's
Was that at
just
Caesars?
a dinner. Yeah, at Caesars.
Yeah.
And I put that in there as a point because you're right. Like people are going to watch this and they're going to judge me for, living the lifestyle, being greedy and all that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
But when you taste it, as you said, it's really hard to walk away from because I did have 39 years old. I had an opportunity to walk away and I chose to continue, that chase the dragon and feed the dopamine rush. And you're right. Caviar, like I'll be sitting here literally just to give you an example before 2 years ago. And I'm like, I'm kind of bored. Text my wife, hey, let's go to Vegas. We'll talk about it when we get home, right? Yeah, she knows, right? So I get home, I'm like, let's just go. So I would get online and send an email to Resorts World, negotiate the trip. They'd have a plane here in 4 hours. We would just get in our car and drive to the private jet and jump on it, and I'd be in Las Vegas fucking 3 hours later, gambling my balls off. And there would be caviar on the plane, and obviously we get there. That you've been to those villas, or 12,000 square feet with a pool and a butler.
Yeah.
The butlers knew us. They'd have my crib waiting for my son, all his formula. I mean, the service is impeccable, and those things are hard to get away from. It's like a drug,
Yeah. And one thing I know about you that you don't know, I know you were triple George to everybody. So what that means is he's taking care of everybody.
I definitely tipped
over taking care of from some of the butlers and stuff and some of the people just in general.
Thank you.
They were really nice.
And dealers too.
Good tippers is the fastest way to Krackomberger.
No, because you know what it is. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of people that are really wealthy.
Cheap. Yeah.
And if someone's around, they're gonna tip.
Right. But when
like,
they're not,
if they're leaving their room when and they're not giving $5 to the maid.
Yeah.
But they're gambling, $20,000, $30,000 a hand.
Sure.
So I heard that. I'm not, just I heard that, and that's.
I appreciate
that.
That
Makes us sad though that what's happening.
I definitely tipped very well.
And no matter what, people watching this, there's going to be haters.
Oh, for sure.
I have haters.
Yeah.
There's going to be haters. And they're going to say, he knew. It was Ohtani's. That's what they want to believe.
Of course.
But I like that you were very open about everything, and you are an open book. Speaking of which, now where can people find your book, which John and I are going to be getting right now?
Yeah, please.
Where can we find your book?
It's on my website, MathewBowyer.com.
Okay.
And it's easiest way is Amazon. Because you'll have it in 2 days or whatever.
I wanted to, we were trying to order it once we booked this with you on Monday, but it wasn't going to arrive to the house till today. So I was like, damn. And I've made fun of.
There's like 10 reviews already. There's great reviews.
I've made fun of Barnes & Noble for years because I'm like, how is there still a Barnes & Noble? And there's one on Charleston down the street from Red Rock Casino.
Yeah.
So I told my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm going to run down to that bookstore. And I'm like, how funny is this? I've been shitting on Barnes & Noble now for 5 years. And I'm like, I can't wait to go, but they didn't have it yet.
Well, because that's different. You need I self-published my book.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot about this. I've never done this before. But you need like a Schulster and Smith or whatever they're called, like a big publishing agency. But that'll probably be my next move. My goal now is get my book out myself, get my story out, at least give a narrative of who I am as a person, because I'm being judged as a predator for being a bookmaker.
Yeah.
The evil side, all the sensationalized news makes me look bad, frankly, but I am who I am, man. Like, you judge me, hate me. Like you said, you're always gonna have haters. At the end of the day, I know who I am, and I'm a good father. I'm a good person. I made some errors and, as far as.
How did you get I can't believe you have a book out. And I didn't know it was a couple of days ago. Your book is out. You didn't even go to jail yet.
Yeah.
The book is out.
Yeah.
What is the book about your life story? Is the Ohtani situation in the book?
In there. Everything.
Everything is in the book.
Literally. I mean,
and there's definitely book 2 coming.
Yeah, there is. There is book 2. And I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
How about like a movie? I mean, a movie, you have some things set up. Can you tell the audience what you have?
Of course.
What you have playing on CNN?
I have a sizzle going with Netflix right now.
Okay.
I'm hoping they pick it up. If they do,
they will.
The doc will be very good.
Sure.
I think that doc will be, because I'm honest, man. So
sure,
I'll just tell the truth. The bad parts too. Like, one thing I do in my book is I don't sugarcoat anything. It's really easy to tell everybody that your body fat's 4% and this and that, or your cock is a lot bigger than it is. But at the end of the day, you just tell the truth. Haters, lovers, whatever, they're gonna appreciate the truth. So my book tells the truth. That when I was broke and borrowing money and putting myself in bad predicaments and owing bookmakers. I've owed bookmakers my whole life too. I was one,
I'll interrupt you. It's the shocking most thing about this whole interview to me. I didn't know that he came home and lost more money than he had to pay the markers. I never, and multiple times. So
many times.
You were really,
I'm a DJ.
You were a degenerate gambler.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Wow. I see that. I'm like, I come here and we pull up to this beautiful house and private drive and cascading waterfalls, unbelievable property. And you didn't matter because you were still gambling to a level above your head.
Oh, for sure.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no question. If you're going every 2 or 3 weeks and you don't have an edge,
right?
Because I really don't.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I negotiated good deals, but I had no edge.
Yep.
You gamble that high, that often. How could you even survive?
Yeah.
Like you know, obviously I had a great business to back it up, right? But the reality is to gamble like no guy in the country, unless you're a celebrity or filthy rich, can do that. You can't afford it. But I did it for 20 years.
Wow.
Literally.
At your peak, how much were you making a month?
$1.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, mostly due to Ohtani money, of course. But even without that, I was doing very well because I had, 1,200 clients. And believe me, I had guys that were betting $100,000 a game. It wasn't, but the Ohtani situation was $100,000 a game, and he was betting 35, 40 bets a day, if not more,
That was something I was going to ask you was the 16 million you said you made somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Who's this next closest guy, just to put it in perspective?
I had a guy lose 9.
9 million?
Yeah.
In what kind of time span?
A year.
A year.
Yeah. Obviously, I gave him a huge discount. And
I represented and I was friends with a lot of pro athletes. And when they retire, all of them have the same story, which is the phone doesn't ring as much and people don't take your calls as much when you retire, because when you're not supplying tickets to them anymore, or you don't have the money's not flowing like it used to, so you're not the source of bail you out loans anymore. They don't call as much. Is it similar for you, like with what you've gone through now?
For sure, I've lost.
You had an entourage with you, and
I've had some stage 5 clingers that are no longer clinging, no question. But I love that. I've learned. I misread this guy. He's not quite the loyal friend I thought he was. So it's all good. Like when you learn from these moments, you actually learn more about yourself. And I just now have learned to look in the mirror and say, okay, it's on me. Like if I can't read who I'm dealing with as who's truly my friend, better, then I blame myself.
Have you had the reverse though, like triple down on
Big
support?
More of that actually.
That's
really
great.
More of that.
Good for you.
Truly. And I it's funny.
Which is not surprising, just from I've known you now an hour or whatever it is, and I could tell from his Instagram, the kind of person you are.
Well, thank you. I actually want that because we all know that social media is mostly fake.
Yeah.
It's people fluffing their life and their marriage, and they're out cheating or whatever. Mine is not. I don't cheat on my wife, and more importantly, I tell the truth. I mean, if you look at my social media, it's not all positive. It's me going through hell. I could fluff everything. I just put a private jet and I'm flying and money and all that. I don't do that. I just talk about the hell I'm going through. And I will do that the rest of my life, good, bad, and indifferent, because I do believe if you're going to, in my case, I'm not selling anything, at least not yet. Well, I'm selling a book, but I prefer just to be honest and tell the truth because it sets you free, man. I'm okay with whoever accepts me for who I am now. I know they accept me for truly who I am, whether I have money or not. And I will make more money in the next 10 years than I've made in my whole life.
Wow.
I have no doubt of that.
That's great.
Let's talk about the family stuff a little bit. So this is like you said, there's going to be haters, right?
Of course.
And when you're throwing around and you're talking about fancy cars and these trips to Vegas and private jets, people forget you are human. It's a weird thing. It's like they some love it, like we love it. We all love, it's like there's obviously a huge audience that like, wow, right? And then there's the haters that forget you're going to be away from your wife,
for sure,
your son, for 15 months. That may not sound like, listen, I got arrested for a failure to appear on a tinted windows ticket 10 years ago or so, maybe more. And I was in jail for 4 hours.
Yeah.
It
felt
4 hours, like
wasn't it?
Eternity.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how far. I'm not trying to rain on your parade
you're correct.
right now.
Hey, I like owning it.
15 months, man.
That's a long time.
This is a long
liberty.
time.
And listen, here's the other problem. Never mind the fact that I lose my liberty. That sucks, right? Being stuck somewhere where you can't go anywhere is bad enough, but just being not a father, missing moments with my kids.
Right.
My son came to me 2 days ago. He put on his T-Rex costume, and we just got it in the mail or Amazon. And he put it on. Daddy, look at this. I said, oh, that's awesome. He's like, are you going to be a T-Rex for Halloween? And then my wife looked at me and I'm like,
Oh,
I'm not going to be here for
this
Halloween.
is Halloween.
That was rough. That was like a moment of like, wow. Yeah, that was hard.
Hits.
So like she started to cry and I was like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And that's on me. My job as a father is provide and protect. And I'm failing to do that. So if I've failed in anything in my life, this is the first moment of failure, the true failure.
Well, she seems like she's dealing with it.
She is
really good. I mean, three of us just showed up with cameras and equipment and lights.
She's great.
I can feel you're both the rock.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's not a fan of this.
Yeah.
She's more private than I ever am. I'm an open book, like to the point where she hates that. But I've gotten her to lean into the fire.
Yeah.
And I don't mean, I'm talking about being open.
Yeah.
She's always been strong, but now I'm like, she doesn't like having our life out there for the whole world.
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, we really have no choice.
Yeah. And this is making lemonade out of lemons.
That's correct. Yeah.
Long term. You're playing the long game right now.
I am, man. And honestly, it's actually feels good.
Yeah.
Because I could at least say somewhat of a narrative of the truth of what's really going on. And they can judge me for whatever it is, but at least I know this is the real me. And again, I own it. Like I fucked up, right?
Yeah.
I could have been a doctor. I could have been so many other things. I'm a very talented guy. So I tell my kids, I chose something in the gray area. Whether I agree with the laws or not, different conversation. But I chose something in the gray area. You got a 16-year-old kid who loves sports and loves gambling. So that was my passion. So if I can make money in my passion, then it's really hard to walk away from that.
Yeah.
So I want my children to do something that they're passionate about because we spend so much time working, right?
Sure.
The problem is I could have chose something else I was passionate about that was legal and never put them through this and myself through this. And that's a mistake I made. And that's what I got to live with. And that's what I got to rebound from, you know.
I have a health-related question.
Sure.
I look at you and I'm jealous.
You look great.
Before we started rolling, I was telling you how I was working with Gary Brecka on my health and 10X, and now I'm working with Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center and Dr. Arvind, and I'm really into peptides and stuff. Can I ask, what are you running? What are you on?
I take everything: BP 157, human growth hormones, testosterone. I take. What's the other? There's another like
Tesamorelin. Are you on?
No,
you're on actual HGH.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I take almost every. I switch to peptides.
Yeah.
I obviously do my blood work, make sure it's healthy.
Yeah.
I have a doctor that runs everything. I'm 50.
Okay.
Yeah, I just turned 50, and the stress I've been under my whole life.
Yeah.
is crazy.
Killer.
I was a commodity trader for 11 years, and that was bananas. I mean, I was gambling legally. And the exposure I was doing there was almost as bad as the bookmaking, you know? So, I try to stay healthy. My wife is really healthy. We eat very clean.
Yeah.
We work out.
And even through all this. So in my last 18 months, as you know, have been kind of stressful. I've gone through a lot of stuff business-wise. I told you a little bit before.
Did.
And I fell off a little bit, and I gained like 20 pounds back of the 35 that I lost. And pizza, and it's just you're stressed.
I was going to say that to you. You look a little chunky now. It is what it is.
It doesn't look, I don't know what you look like before, but it looks like you've stayed on the course. How have you been able to do that?
I mean, luckily, I own a jiu-jitsu studio, which I've been really pretty bad about going. I've been going like once a week, and you should be going at least 3-4 times. But I do other stuff. I'm always active, and in truth, I cold plunge every day, and then I use my infrared sauna, which I have here in my house, which helps. But those are like my moments to like kind of live in my moment and realize the shit I'm under and kind of have like a moment of like, wow. And those things really help me along with eating clean and then just trying to obviously work out because my body fat, I just did it the other day, is 9.6%. I'm 50. But about 8 years ago, I was down to 4.4 when I was like extreme crazy about it.
That sounds like too lean though. That's hard to keep.
I was like, it was all I cared about, you know, just getting, you know, where you eat portions.
Quick shout out to heritagesports.eu, our sponsor. Been around 30 years, 100% kickoff bonus, plus they have a money-back guarantee on your first deposit. Some real good specials over at Heritage, heritagesports.eu. Been around a long time. Check them out. Now, you're going away in a couple weeks?
I go probably, I'd say October 1st, yeah.
So you're going to go in October. Okay, you're going to go in October. Like, what kind of food you going to get in there? I mean,
shit. I've heard it's
but you still have to work out and stuff. And,
yeah, I mean,
you know, you're going to be
I'm going to lose weight.
You're going to be real popular in there. We decided that.
I'm sure.
You're going to be real popular.
Sure.
People, they love to gamble. They're going to ask you about everything.
Stories,
your stories. You're going to be, you're going to be real popular wherever you go.
I think honestly, I'm not worried about prison.
No,
at all. I'm more worried about just again being away from my family.
Yeah.
Like going to prison is whatever. I mean, truly, I don't think it's really rehabilitating for me as a human being. But I will use the opportunity to strengthen my mind. Clearly, you know, I'll work out a ton. There's nothing else to do, right? And then if I can improve my mind in any way, educational wise, I will. I've grown so much in the last 2 years. I'll be honest with you. Before this happened, I was getting kind of stagnant because I had this amazing business and it was so easy and I ran it so efficiently that all I did was like gamble and screw around. I wasn't really challenging my brain. And now I've never done social media or any of this stuff. So I had to go learn what a Google Drive was and things that I don't even use. And I'm like, wow, I kind of, you know, went backwards.
Yeah.
You know, so now I'm like, you know, it's simple stuff. But the point is, you know, I'm actually getting more savvy in things I would never even used, you know.
Well, we're going to get your book. Last to close with, what the name of your book and where we can get it, like on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon, Recalibrate.
Recalibrate.
By Mathew Bowyer with 1 T.
Yep.
Then go to my, obviously, Instagram, Mathew Bowyer 5. All my socials.
You have great
channels.
socials.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you guys do too, and I'm happy to collaborate.
This was a fantastic interview. We came out here for John. Was like, we got to get out there. So we came out here, and it's really nice for you to open your house and yourself. Tell us everything you told us, and we wish you well.
No,
yeah, man.
When you're out, we're going to do another interview with you.
I would love that.
When you're out.
Is crazy to me to think. I mean, I get it. You broke the law. Like, I get it. But
well,
it's
you know,
like,
when John's
just,
saying like
to lock
now,
this man up. Is
What's
nuts.
happening now? We have conditioned society of all the big sports books now, how fun it is. And the people are getting, every college in America has a gambling problem.
Actually, to touch on that's the biggest new, I would call it, epidemic that's coming.
It is.
Totally.
It's the new opioid epidemic.
It really is.
Gambling, but however, it's done privately. It's done on your phone.
Correct.
It's closet gambling.
Yes, yeah.
No one knows that. Alcohol, drugs, you know.
You see it.
You see it.
I spoke about that on a, what do you call it, addiction podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you or I had $1 million on a soccer game and it's going on right now or whatever, we wouldn't know it. No one would know it but us.
Yes.
And then we could be sitting here, even though we're sweating the game, we're not really watching it. And then if I'm wasted or if I'm high, I mean, I'd be slurring my words. I'd be acting, you know, a little indifferent.
Right.
So you're right. You could closet hide everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. There's casinos in how many states now? I mean,
within
I don't
a 3-hour drive of like anybody.
Almost anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and sports books now.
Yes.
Everywhere. And
listen, even in this state, you said about how, like, these players that used to play with Matt, they're playing on other bookmakers. Kalshi is a big app now where you're buying. It's a stock market. You're buying contracts. It's sports betting.
Right.
Kalshi now is taking over a lot of places in California. I hear.
For sure.
So Kalshi's everywhere now.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they were on the Las Vegas Strip during the election. Big ad, taking out the biggest billboards on the famous Four Corners.
Yeah.
The Flamingo and the Strip, Tropicana and the Strip. That all over the Strip, Kalshi ads for the presidential election.
I think they had a problem because they had the Super Bowl up too.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a spread. And that's the rule or whatever.
Yeah.
But they put who would win or lose, which in this case, the Super Bowl spread was really nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they got in trouble with the Vegas.
They did get in a little bit of trouble, but they're growing at an all-time rate.
Yeah.
So like that's sports betting.
Of course it is.
I forgot one thing I wanted to bring up. The prop betting has gotten so big.
Sure.
What do you think is going to happen? Like, I don't remember the picture, but I'm sure you saw it a couple of weeks ago. The bounce,
two of them,
the bounce ball.
Yeah,
the first pitch.
What's going to happen? Do you think
it's only going to get worse?
It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're smart. I mean, you have to give them credit to throw something. That's the best way to do it because you're not really affecting the outcome of a game. You're just
one pitch,
and
you're going to throw several balls throughout your your appearance.
So that was brilliant. But the problem is the brilliancy is never going to work anyway because in a prop bet, Bill knows this better than anyone. Yeah. When there's a large bet on a prop bet, that's an investigation.
You can't even get down that much.
Yeah,
a dime from $1,000.
So the reality is to throw a game and actually get away with it. It's going to have to be a real game.
Yeah,
and that's going to be very difficult. And then people talk. There's too many cameras everywhere and too many people with big mouths. They're going to get caught.
How about all these leagues, though, now that the commissioners were against gambling?
Right.
And NFL, NBA, and hockey. Hockey was the first one to take it in. They were against gambling, and only 20% of people bet sports. Now they welcome it. Every stadium. You go to Yankee Stadium. Left field, center field, right field. 3 different ads for sports books. 7-year-old Johnny Boy says, "Daddy, what's that at?" Yeah, it's a gambling app, and oh, that's nice. You know, they're literally teaching them at a young age. It's everywhere now. The sports books are in bed with the leagues. The leagues are making money.
Of course they are.
Giant money.
Yeah.
You see, the retired athletes are now the advertisers.
Kevin Hart,
Gronk
LeBron
and stuff.
James.
You see all these guys. They're actually advertising for the sport. It's now listen. A lot of things try to get swept under the rug. I'm a gambler. I make money from gambling. I'm an advantage gambler. I do advantage gambling things, but I still talk about the responsible gambling aspect.
Sure.
I try to teach people that, parlays are bad. This is 60% of the profits are parlays.
Right.
Kids want to make, $1 into 100,000 because that is the ad they see on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, look what you can do for $1. They put that out there. These kids are dreaming, star-yard dreamers. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah,
and I try to help with that end.
They are sucking them. And I want to say this, I got a ton of hate on my Instagram, especially on that one video that went viral, 10 million views. You're this predator. You prey on people's gambling addictions and all these things. But and part of that's true. Sadly, I did have some people that bet with me that got out of control or whatever, just like I did. But most of my customers, most of them truly wanted to write a letter to my judge and say, this guy, I've dealt with him for 20 years. He's a personal friend now. I bet with him, yes, but it was entertainment. It was something I really wanted. Doesn't make it right, but I just want you to know, I said, don't bother. It's not going to help me. Right. But my point is, I had relationships with most of my customers, or my agents did with the customers. It wasn't like we were going around with the advertising signs. They came to us to bet. And
they're going to make the bets regardless. It's like being mad at someone for having a shop that sells cigarettes and saying you're giving them cancer. They're going to go buy the cigarettes regardless.
Yeah. Well, do you blame Budweiser because someone's an alcoholic? I mean, they gave them the beer, but did they walk into their house and hand it to them?
Right.
They would have bought a Corona instead. It doesn't matter. It's the person that has to be accountable for their actions, including me, which is why I'm going to prison. Yeah. I'm not happy about it. I'm not, thrilled, but I did the crime. I'm doing the time, and that's it.
Let's end on this one,
sure.
Okay? Bill loves his restaurants. He's making a name for himself online with top 5s, top 5 pools in Vegas, top 5 restaurants.
Okay.
Let's fast forward 15 months.
Sure.
You're coming to Vegas for a weekend, a long weekend.
Uh-huh.
5 restaurants you are going to be thinking about that you can't wait to get back into.
In Vegas or here?
Either or.
Yeah, where's your top 5 restaurants?
Give us top 5.
Do you guys like sushi?
Yeah.
I have a sushi place in Tustin, California. That's a hole in the wall. That's the best in the world that I've ever been.
Wow, the best.
Truly, it's called Sushi Wasabi. I eat there. I don't eat there every day anymore because it's expensive and I'm watching my money. But wow, it's fantastic.
Wow.
Japanese owners, they're sweethearts. The husband's the cook, and obviously his wife is the waitress. And you walk in there, it's a hole in the wall.
I mean, to say
Amazing.
that, he's been to Nobu in the top.
Oh, Nobu doesn't even
compare.
Not even touch it.
That's sick.
It's amazing. And it's all omakase. You can't order a roll. They don't even make rolls. It's real sushi. Wow. That's my favorite. If I were to die, that's my last meal.
Wow.
Okay.
Truly. But in Vegas, man.
What do you like in Vegas?
You guys will laugh. I like Guy Sauvage, and not because I usually don't like French restaurants because it's portions are a joke, right?
I need big portions.
But I just order 8 million things.
Sure.
And because I didn't care about the price. But I like that restaurant. It's really a cool experience,
nice.
Right? But as far as real food, I mean, obviously, I've been everywhere in Las Vegas. There's
nothing stands out.
Honestly,
those steakhouses
I'm a pig, so I like everything, man.
Right.
A steakhouse, I'm trying to. It's sad because I haven't been to Vegas in over 2 years. It's been 2 years.
Longest stretch ever, probably.
Oh, by far. I mean, I'm close.
Sure.
And I miss it. I miss the dopamine rush of walking in that town as kind of like a celebrity. I mean, I have an ego, I like to walk in a place and feel like I'm somebody,
Oh, yeah.
I do, thank God.
Yeah, Mr. B, Mr. B.
They treat you like gold. Whether it's fake or not, doesn't matter.
Yes, it's fake.
Of course. Good point. But I'll be honest, Resorts World's restaurants are not my favorite, so definitely wouldn't be there. Palazzo has some amazing restaurants. What's that? Mott 32?
Yeah.
Mott 32, is that good?
Chinese place.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
That is really good.
Unbelievable. I've seen the ad for it. Didn't ever went.
So good. And what's funny is I love, what's the Greek place? Milos.
I love Milos.
Milos. Oh, no.
It's in Palazzo.
It used to be Cosmo, right?
And that's a chain.
Yeah.
So usually a chain is not the best restaurant.
Yes.
But those are the ones I would go to all the time.
Really?
So
Milos is great.
I can't give you this is the one
No, that's okay.
other than Sushi Wasabi.
Sushi wasabi.
And while you guys are here, you should go there. It's in Tustin.
Well, this has been great.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
We really are touched by this too.
Yeah.
You know, John and I really on the way here we're saying how bad this is because you know we know what it is to gamble. We bet sports, even though we don't bet with illegal bookmakers, but still we know what it is to bet. People just bet in sports. By the way, let's close with this. This man paid his restitution.
Every dollar.
You paid. Most people have to get billed. What'd you pay him?
1.6 and change.
They have that already.
It's done.
They took that.
Yeah.
So
take a man away from his wife and
took his money and
for 15 months. For doing something that happens.
And we're going to get hate for saying that now.
Every single day in the city we live in. All day. South Point, you can do it 24 hours a day. You can make bets on sports. And we're going to put this guy away, and somehow the world is a better place, a safer place. It's nuts.
You know, I agree, sadly. But, you know, I will tell you guys, there's a part of me that is like, it's just part of the story that's just going to make me that much stronger.
Yeah.
So when I come out of this thing and I'm on stages doing, you know, public speaking, and it adds more grit to my story.
Right.
Of course, that's the worst thing I want to do is go away from my family.
Sure.
But it does allow me to sit on a stage and look at someone and say, look, I've been through hell.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I faced, and this is where I'm at now. And I promise you I'll make more money than I ever have.
That's what
and never mind the money, I will actually do something where two people win. Every business I've been in, commodities, win, they have to lose. Bookmaking, I have to win for them to lose. Now it's win, win. And first time in my life, and I give to somebody and I get paid for it, how good is that feeling?
That's great.
Where everybody wins,
Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you very much.
You're a good man.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Great interview.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll see you next week on WiseKracks.